if it's bull or bear.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome. It is Saturday. It's 11:41 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is not going to be a long video, but I'm going to show you a couple charts that, just give you an idea as to what's happening and what's going on. A lot of people are talking about, well, now we're in a recession. It's been my understanding we've been in a recession for a little while now. They just keep changing the definition of what a recession is, so they don't have to take blame for it. But it's undeniable at this point. But what does that really mean? We've been through this multiple times over the past, decade. I mean, I ultimately believe that it's going to continue pushing money into the crypto space slowly but surely until we start really turning around. Obviously, my Wyckoff pattern has been more or less shut down, but you can't predict some of these things. I think even the, what do they call it? The Big Mac Index. When McDonald's isn't doing well, there's global trouble, okay, financially. But McDonald's is working on doing things to try and change some of their pricing, and who knows what they're going to do to cut costs. I don't even really eat McDonald's anymore personally. I haven't in a long time. I think I've had it maybe once in the past year. I always feel sick as hell anymore. I used to eat it all the time, and I just never understood why I felt so lethargic and gross. And now that I've been eating a lot healthier and changing a lot of my life, I go and have it now, and instantly I can feel it. It's just not good. But this is my Wyckoff reaccumulation pattern. I have changed these lines a bit, trying to figure out, I'm going to change it again there because I even though I think this has been invalidated, you can see that we have a little bit more bullish liquidity available here around the $58,000 region. And it's probably, I'm guessing at this point, it's likely we touch that. This is still on a 2-day candle. And, I'm not 100% sure how far down we go, but there's really not that much. We could go lower. We could break through this. I'm not honestly convinced that we're going to, but ultimately, I don't think this Wyckoff reaccumulation is going to be still a thing, probably by the end of the weekend. I could be wrong, but ultimately, it's just not looking good. We're getting another blood diamond with the market cipher, X for manipulation, and away we go. This is on a 1-hour candle here as we continue to move lower. Our low here was around 60,421. And then we started to turn around a little bit, but then here we go with another blood diamond. And you can see what happens when we get these blood diamonds. Price goes much, much lower. So I'm not bullish over the course of the weekend. I can say that. But here's what I find interesting. If we look at Solana, since the top of this, we can see Solana's dropped all the way down to like almost 23%. Currently trading at $150, and you can see the liquidity available down here is thin, 1.193 million, and with just a little hair to the bullish side, that could easily get chewed up, and it can go lower into this next level of liquidity, 648.215 thousand, sitting at around between $126 and $122. And you can see there's a little bit more bullish liquidity to chew up, but still not that much. And, I always see these articles talking about anytime Cardano does anything, it always gets compared to Solana. So I figure, let's take a look. What's happening? Well, you can see this is the same 4-hour candle that Solana's on. And you can see the price action here, significant bullish liquidity down here around the 36-cent range, which is where we're at right now. Do we chew this up and continue going lower? I don't know, but it's obvious that there are a lot more people willing to buy Cardano around the 36-cent range than there are people willing to buy Solana at around the same points. Okay. So this is very, very telling for the overall nature of what's happening with Solana right now. It's obvious the people are speaking when it comes to what they're willing to trade and accumulate in times like this. Cardano at 36 cents is actually, to me, very bullish. And then as the price were to recover, you can see there's a little bit more, bearish liquidity up around the 42-cent range. And then it gets even more bearish up around the 44, 45-cent range. That's okay, because when things really start to kick off, this will get chewed up quite easily. So there, and you can see the dramatic difference between bullish sentiment around 36 cents and the bearish sentiment. It's pretty crazy. So I'm actually feeling pretty bullish about it, but I thought it was pretty interesting to see how what the differences are right now in Solana's price and Cardano's, because Cardano, by the same measure, has basically come down. Let's see, where are we at? About 19.7%. Well, it's a little less than that because I made this a little higher. So from where we're sitting right now, a little less than 20% drop. This has been very common for Cardano. So this is nothing new to me. So I'm not overly concerned with it. I did post a really big article about Solana's 2024-2025 crypto's future on my Substack, and some other thoughts. It's actually pretty long. If you're not subscribed to my Substack, there's a link in the description below. Make sure you check that out. I think you're going to really enjoy it. I went ahead and I closed the trade that I've been sitting on for what appears to, I think it's been 2 months. And I've got another long, I've got a 5X long sitting and waiting at around 58,000. And if I'm looking at the price action right now, I'm going to hazard a guess that we get there. So that price has to come all the way back down to around here to fill this order. I can see that happening, especially over the course of this weekend, because there's still a lot of question as to what's going to happen. Are they going to be cutting rates in September? Is it going to be a quarter point or half a point? What's coming? What's happening? So I don't know. Also, real quick, I'll share with you what I've been doing. I did register my Cornucopias nodes, and I'm basically just generating a COPI yield off my nodes. And it's actually pretty cool. I'm getting around 9.8 COPI tokens for each of the 8 nodes that I have. And so, yeah, I thought I'd share that. There's definitely a lot of stuff coming. I'm going to announce this week a lot of Cornucopias news and what's going on. The Cardano pool, interestingly, 47% are now sitting at 9.1, preparing. We're about 33% away from the Chang hard fork. This is definitely going to be happening this month in August, and I cannot wait. I know a lot of you have been talking to me and sending me messages saying, why don't you put together some sort of catalyst marketing program so that you can get a catalyst fund approved? And, I'm willing to do that. I think there's so much to it, and it's such a big job. And honestly, I have not had that much luck with catalysts yet on like really legitimate projects. And so I feel like the catalyst procedure right now is a game, unless it's changed. And I know it's supposed to be changing quite a bit with the Chang hard fork, so we'll see. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I don't have the time to put hours and hours and hours and hours into planning something just to throw it into Catalyst and then have somebody that knows how to game the system get all the funding. I'm just not down for that. But we'll see. I think it's definitely a big deal. I would almost rather see a legitimate marketing company establish a proposal for how marketing is going to be handled on Cardano. I mean, it's like, because it's a big job. I mean, there's a lot to do, a lot of planning that goes into that. I'd be willing to throw my hat in the ring and all of that, but I really think a legitimate marketing company could probably do better with the funds than I could alone. Now, if the funding were enough that I was able to establish a marketing team, each member of that team handled a very specific niche within the overall marketing plan, start a little agency out of the whole thing, then that would make more sense. But I've also got a lot of other things that I'm working on. So we'll see. But ultimately, I just wanted to share that. I mean, I think ultimately we'll see how low we go. I think the CME gap, I can't remember. I'm going to pull this up real quick. Let's take a look. CME, because I know that there's a CME futures gap. And or has that already been filled? Let me take a look real quick. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what's going to happen with this. Yeah, I know that there was a CME futures gap, but I can't tell if we filled it already, but the price is already moving back up with CME Group, so I'm not 100% sure what's going on. But anyway, that's it for the day. Listen, it's Saturday. I'm not overly concerned. I mean, I'm obviously a little nervous. I'm kind of like, what is going on? And all of this coming to fruition right before an election, which you just don't see often. So I'm a little like, what's the overall plan here? Because I feel like everything that's going on right now is planned by somebody. I don't think this is just happenstance. Nothing ever is. Let's be real. So we'll see. But that's it for the weekend. I hope you guys have a good weekend. Stay safe, have a good time, and be ready to come back and get to work on Monday. Until next time, crow your coins, and I'll see you soon.